hoodies on, I
Yes.
think, today, eh, Ty?
Yeah, they finally hooked me up with some gear for the show here. I'm excited. This is an incredibly comfortable hoodie as well. It's
It is. It's
great.
really soft.
I
Yeah.
still haven't gotten one, guys.
It's in the mail, Frank.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy or sell is brought to you by Jock Market, the hybrid between fantasy sports and the stock market. That promo code DFO50 gets you a $50 deposit bonus. We're running low on time here, so I'm putting a clock on you guys. Max 30 seconds an answer, but our first one, we got a big goaltending matchup in that Vegas-Montreal series. If you could buy stock of only one of them, you buying on Carey Price or Marc-Andre Fleury heading into this series? Jason, I'll let you go first.
Oh God, you know what? I made a joke earlier. Whoever wins this series should get to be the starter for Canada at the 2022 Olympics, because I think it comes down to him. I'm gonna go Fleury because I think Vegas wins the series.
All right.
I think I have to go Price. Look, Price, you can't argue with his numbers in these playoffs. They've been fantastic. Fleury has been good in these playoffs, but not outstanding. I think there's been a couple nights that, and a couple goals in certain nights that he'd like to have back, and we just haven't seen that from Price. So purely on the goaltending, Price.
Number 2, Vegas and Tampa. They are the 2 favorites in the betting universe to win the Stanley Cup this season. They're 1 and 2 on the odds board. Whose stock do you buy more as a Stanley Cup favorite, Vegas or Tampa, Frank?
I'm going to buy Vegas because I think the odds are going to be a little better. If I'm placing a wager, it would be on Vegas.
Well, I'll say this, Vegas they're massive favorite against
minus
Montreal,
450.
81% or something ridiculous.
And Tampa would be against the Islanders as well, right?
Yeah, it's not quite as big, but they're big favorites as well, yeah.
I'm taking Tampa. I picked Tampa at the start of the second round. Once I saw them with Kucherov in the Florida series, I was like, I'll take them against the field. I just think they're too deep everywhere. And they've got as good as Fleury and Price are, Vasilevsky is better than both of them. So I'll take Tampa.
By the way, I do think Tampa wins, but like I said, betting, if I was going to buy, it would be on a better
Vegas.
odds team, Vegas.
Number 3, we had the 2 1 seeds fall out, Carolina and Colorado. And I'll even throw Boston in this conversation just for the sake of it. But a similar question I've asked you guys before. If you could buy stock on one of those teams heading into next season, which one would you buy out of Colorado, Carolina, or Boston? Jason?
Oh, give me big money on Colorado. I still, McKinnon and Rantanen, Cale Makar, he's unreal. I think, you know what, if they get Eric Johnson back healthy, they've still got the cap space because they're best players in an absolute bargain. I know Pasternak and Marchand are too, but they're older, and I like Colorado moving forward. I think Colorado is just entering kind of their prime time to be a legit cup contender, so I'll take Colorado.
Speaking of just entering their prime time, how about the Carolina Hurricanes? I know their defense might look different. Not sure if Dougie Hamilton's coming back, but Rod Brind'Amour mentioned you lose. Every time you lose, you learn something. And that team, they're going to be good for the next 8 years. That's how good that team is and how young they are. I think they're going to be right in the mix to take a big leap forward next year.
Speaking of the Carolina Hurricanes, I'm going to say Dougie Hamilton will be back in Carolina next season. Frank, you buying or selling on that?
Selling.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to get there. I think Dougie Hamilton's number, it's steep, and I don't think they were close. And Carolina is going to have to move multi-million dollars to get to where Dougie Hamilton's camp, I think, believes they are.
I'm with you, and which makes it very curious on where Dougie Hamilton's going to end up, and also who's going to trade for Seth Jones. You got 2 really good defensemen available this summer.
Young right shot D-men are one of the hardest to find assets in the NHL, and there's 2 of them on the market this offseason. Finally, we'll stop in Boston, where Taylor Hall said today that, he's not so much concerned about money, he's concerned about fit, and that leads me to believe he'll be back in Boston. Jason, you buying or selling on Halsey back in Beantown?
You know what? He's been pretty upfront. Him and the Bruins were close to getting a deal done last offseason, and it didn't happen. He went on the 1 year and then, ended up in Boston anyway. I believe Boston feels like, their window is still open with Bergeron around. Of course, now Pasternak and Marchand, but, Marchand's getting a little bit older. So I think Taylor Hall will sign there. And I don't think it's going to be a long-term deal, though. I could see a 3-year deal for Taylor Hall in Boston.
I could see him coming back to Boston, so I'll buy that part, but I'm not buying anything else that Taylor Hall is selling You lost me last summer when you said it's all about winning. Go back and read all the clips from the time he was with Arizona and New Jersey. I want to go to a team with a chance to win. No, you took the money and you took the $8 million, which was the highest offer on the table, to go to the Buffalo Sabres. End of story.
Fair enough. There you go. That is Buy or Sell, brought to you by Jock Market. Whether it's hockey or baseball or golf with the U.S. Open coming up, Jock Market has it all, and that promo code DFO50 will give you a jump start with a $50 deposit bonus.